Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Red Devil Circle. Today, we're going to address the issues surrounding Manchester United, and we're also going to do the Crystal Palace preview, and also to add more context to it, I'm going to do um, the game analysis for the Burnley match. We somehow won 1-0, which um, I don't think was a fair overview to the whole game. But we're going to analyze that game and see what we could change going into the Crystal Palace game. I think that's a well-coached team that actually have a system compared to us. So that's also going to be a hard game. If Burnley had any finishes, we would have been put to the sword. Um, but I think that was on Saturday. We played that Burnley game. But yeah, we took a point. We took the 3 points, which is good for us moving forward. But there's a lot that needs to be addressed in that team. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right. Um, First of all, I want to say Manchester United has no specific style of play. Like, it's either that or the coach hasn't fully implemented the style of play into the team, and that in itself is alarming because at this stage, you figure that he there's so many managers in the Premier League with their own ideas. But at this stage, after a year and almost a half, if you're not able to get the team playing the way they should be in the system you want, maybe you shouldn't be here. And I'm not saying he's completely gotten all the tools he needs for to make this team work. But he has he has things he can make use of in that team. Um, you don't always get everything you want, but how you make as a manager, you have to be able to, you know, you have to be able to manage the team that you have. You have to be able to fill them with confidence. You have to make good use of what you're given, and by no means are we do we have the worst team in the top six, right? There's there's a lot of tools out there for him to be able to use. There's good players there. There's enough players for him to be able to get the job, to get the system going. Like, you can't tell me Burnley has better players than us, but yet they seem to have a system. They seem to have a way of play. They're making little triangles around us, making Dallo look stupid. That was in the first half. They were just passing it around him. He couldn't get close to the ball. Um, yeah, they just seem to make those triangles, and they have the players that understand what the manager wants, and they were keeping the ball better than us. They were playing better than us. Um, they had control of the possession well in the way they carried the ball. They controlled possession for the large parts. We didn't do anything that that was eye catching in that game apart from Johnny Bravo, freaking Johnny Evans put a wonderful cross in, and that was finished well by Bruno Fernandes, which is what individual brilliance. So we're not really seeing a style of play. Maybe it's just you have some good players in there and some bad players, and everyone's just trying to do their own thing, and it's not working out well. But at the end of the day, how I see it is that the manager is not getting the system implemented in the team, and I think he should be the one in question. So yeah, we're lacking a style of play. That's my first point. Also, if you look at how we play, we seem to sit too deep against whatever team. We make the other team look good, however bad they are. It doesn't matter if they're bottom of the league. It doesn't matter if they're one of the top six. We always make our opponents look good. we sit back too deep and try to play long balls. Thankfully for us, Johnny Evans did his thing, right? That was a beautiful crossing, but that's not the style of play Manchester United should be using. Um, that that's the style of play you use in a Sunday League team. Even a Sunday League team has a system, but sometimes you just see one of those teams that just shoots a long ball, hope for ball in, and try to get position, try to get control of the ball up front and score a goal or nick a goal in. That style of football is old. It's old, and that's what we're doing right now to just get through the motions, just get through the game, scrape a win, and that worked out well against Burnley. But that's not always gonna work out. So we're sitting too deep. We're playing long balls. We're not controlling the possession. Um, um, and if you want to play good football, you have to have a good hold of the possession. You have to have a pattern of play. If it's the little triangles or diamonds or whatnot, your players should be able to play that. You have to be able to give them the confidence in training or whatever to be able to play that. They need to understand what they need to do. They need to run into those spaces that are open. They need to be able they need to be able to receive the ball. They need to be able to pass the ball accurately. So yeah, there's two ways of looking at it here. The players are not technically good enough to play the system he wants to be playing, or Ten Hag is not doing well enough to implement this system into the players. So yeah, another point I want to bring up is like I said, it could be the players or the manager. So it's either we have players that are lacking the technical ability to in most areas of the pitch, and there are a few players you could say that don't have that, and I'm gonna get into it right now, because at the end of the day, no matter what, we're Manchester United, right? I think the manager should be able to get players doing what needs to be done. But at the end of the day, we also have players that shouldn't really be there, or rather should be on the bench, or they're not, like, their technical ability is not good enough to be playing for a club like this. And I'm gonna get into it. First of all, I'm gonna talk about McTominay. Looking at that Burnley game, his progressive play was not there. And when you're playing in the midfield like that, you need to be able to scan the area before receiving the ball. You need to turn properly. You need to be confident on the ball, because most of the time you're going to be under pressure in the midfield. You need to be able to evade that pressure. You need to be able to turn away from pressure and play a forward pass or take the ball forward, because most of the time you'll be receiving the ball from the defenders. And what do we see from Manchester United? McTominay gets the ball, or whoever, and it's a sideways pass. Sorry, excuse me. It's a sideways pass and then a backward pass back to the defenders and also back to the goalie. It's the same thing. We're just passing the ball back and forth, expecting something to open up, or expecting to shoot a through ball or forward pass like Johnny Evans did. That's not always going to work. We need to be able to play the game, right? So McTominay is not good progressively with the ball. A lot of sideways passing, a lot of backward passing. That's not going to do us any good. So we need a midfielder that could take that ball from the back line and evade pressure, because you're always going to come under pressure in the midfield, and also find a pass. You need to know what you're going to do with the ball before you receive it. You need to know the movement of the players in front of you. You need to be technically aware. You need to be aware in every aspect of the game, and we do not have that. So we're not playing progressive football. Also, McTominay, he's if you watch the large parts of those game, of that game, obviously there's a reason you say managers pick him to put that physicality in there and whatnot. But I didn't see that because why he always goes into a tackle, but most of the time he doesn't retain the ball. How do you go and tackle someone and you even make contact with the ball, but you don't retain the ball? Like is your physicality overstated? Because that's all I can think. They're overstating his physicality because he's not physical enough. He's he's not strong enough on the tackle. His tackle is not firm enough, and we need a midfielder that's technically renowned and also able to be firm in the tackle, to be able to support Casemiro when needed, but also be able to progressively play the ball, just like Modric was doing. He didn't need to. He was able to tackle the ball. His tackling was good, but he was the one who took the ball forward, right? Who made those plays to the wide line or to the wing, or just caught played through balls through the opponent's defense, or carry the ball forward to an advanced position, and that's what we need. We need a player like that, and that made Casemiro's job easier playing with Modric. And we need someone who can advance with the ball, and that's gonna make Casemiro's job easier. And he need we need a player that will advance with the ball and also be able to make tackles when needed, be able to support Casemiro. Because what are we saying right now? Casemiro is being overloaded, and he's not doing well with that. He's just caught on his own most of the time, and that's a really hard job for a 30-something-year-old to do. So yeah, McTominay is not quite good enough for this team. I want to touch on Dallo a bit. Obviously, we all sing Dallo's praises, and going forward, I'm not saying he's a bad player to have on the team. Like I said earlier, is it this players are not really understanding the system that needs to be played, because at the end of the day, it's Manchester United. I've said that twice now. We have better players in Burnley, but they're showing more of having a system down than we are. So that's a huge problem on the manager side. But I want to touch on Dallo because we need to have wing backs that are able to do the job in every aspect of the way, right? And that's why I think we're missing Malacia right now, or Luke Shaw. You need to be able to defend basics. You need to be able to defend as well as you need to be able to attack, right? And I find that with Dallo, he gives possession away too often. If you watch Wan-Bissaka, he when he's with the ball, he's better. He's better with his passing, his forward passing, and if he has to play sideways, he knows what passes to make, so that we retain the ball. If you watch Dallo, he tries to nick the ball to the midfield once he gets it and is under pressure, and we end up losing possession because his pass is not firm enough, or he just nicks it to a position where the midfielder can't really think fast enough to be able to receive that ball and get it forward. So Dallo's passing needs to be more accurate, and he needs to be able to get out of tight spots there on the wing. I think Wan-Bissaka does that really well. His physicality is good. He plays the right passes and help us retain that ball and progressively play forward or play towards the attack, or just keep the ball a bit before pouncing. But yeah, Dallo gives possession way too often, from what I've noticed, especially in that game. And I don't really care how good your forward play is. If we're not progressing with the ball, the forward play is going to be rare, and at the end of the day, if you have like two crosses and no one gets to it, it doesn't help the team. So Dallo gives possession away too often, and the build-up play is not good. And I think we're better with Wan-Bissaka if we're gonna play well progressively, if we're gonna play the build-up football. So yeah, Johnny Evans, I don't have much to say about him. He's not Manchester United standard, but he put in a shift when needed. He could be a good option ahead of Maguire. I think he wasn't scared to take matters into his own hands when needed. But my criticism of him is he doesn't make enough forward runs. Um, most of the defenders right now, modern defenders in the Premier League, if you watch them, they're able to run into space and play past. They back themselves to drive that ball into space and make the midfield push forward, make the wingers push forward, the strikers push forward. They're driving through an open space, and Johnny Evans doesn't do that well. So that's my criticism of him. You need defenders that are able to do that. You need defenders that are tenacious, and can exploit spaces and get us forward. So yeah, he's not United standard, and he's a bit old right now. So he's really lucky to be playing. But yeah, I don't have a lot of criticism about him. It's not his fault that he had to come in there, but he also put in a good shift. Regulon is playing well. I don't wanna make things too I don't want to give him too much praise is what I mean to say, because if you're giving him too much praise now, you don't know what you're gonna get in the future. And at the end of the day, the team is not playing well collectively. It's very hard to judge him, but he's put in a good shift since he's come in. Excuse me. He's put in a good shift since he's come in, and the only thing I say is a few times he gets caught on the wing. He gets caught out of position, or he's not able to track back soon enough. But that's what you get with wing backs who go forward. And he has a good crossing. He has a great crossing ability, and we could very well make use of that. But you can't ignore the fact that he was Spurs reject, and there's still questions lying around him. So I don't want to question his abilities too much until we actually have a good team. But also once Malacia comes in and looks sure, that should be the end of it. I'm sorry, because Malacia is good defensively, strong in tackles. He has the pace to get back quickly. He's good going forward as well. Might not put a lot of crosses in, but the low balls, the low crossing, the low passes, he does that really well. And he plays the 1-2 when we get to the attack really, really well. That's what I've noticed from Malacia. He looks to play that 1-2. He looks to give you an option. And we really need that right now. We miss Malacia and Luke Shaw, but Regulon's put in a good shift, and he's not doing bad either. It's just collectively, as the way the team is right now, we're playing freaking bad, absolutely bad, and I don't have much to say on Regulon right now. But the next player we're going to talk about is Lindelof. I've noticed something about Lindelof. He doesn't seem to show his good qualities when he's playing alongside subpar players, or players that are not of a good standard. If you pair him with Varane, he does absolutely well, no doubt. He can drive the ball forward. He's the kind of player that relies on his partners filling him with confidence, and you can't blame him for that, because that's what defenders thrive on. the partnership, and he didn't look in much confidence to say playing alongside Johnny Evans, but at least it wasn't Harry Maguire, and we were able to stay organized there, and that was pretty good. But I didn't see a lot of forward runs, a lot of taking the ball, driving into space from Lindelof as he previously used to. I would say he's down on confidence a bit, but if you chug in a Varane in there, I think you get a standard Lindelof performance. And on Casemiro, I don't have much to say there. I think he needs help. He needs a lot of help. He's trying to defend and also play forward passes. He's doing too much. He needs help. He needs someone to take one of those roles out of his hands. Because what you get from Casemiro, you should be able to get one of those brilliant passing here and there from deep, but you don't want him to be defending and also trying to progress with the ball. He's doing everything right now, and that's not fair on him. He needs another player to come in there that's technically renowned, that's disciplined, and can get that ball in the midfield and spread plays, and also defend sometimes when needed. Positionally disciplined. He makes the job a lot easier. So on Rashford, I is one of the players that I don't just get why the manager keeps playing him, because he's one of those that kills the attack once the attack is on. He kills it immediately the attack is on. He needs to adjust his game. I don't want to criticize him too much. He needs to adjust the game to help the team. Also seeing that the manager loves to play him and he just can't stop playing him no matter how bad he performs. So he needs to adjust his game. I think I saw a bit of him trying to do that in the Burnley game, but he needs to do that more. Stop spending too much time on the ball. Try to play the 1-2 passing. You have Haaland there who understands how essential a one-touch football is, or just don't retain the ball too much, right? When you need to play the pass play, just do that. Don't try to carve your own, your own idea of how things should work, right? You're playing on the left wing. That's a very important position in the attack, the wing play. So just off your feet, you need to gel with your teammate in the forward line. You can't keep the ball too much while your teammate is making a run. You're just messing up the whole structure of the team, especially when you lose the ball and everyone is on the back foot. Just immediately as they've got the ball to you, they have to start running back to cover your mess up. So he needs to adjust his game, or he needs to be out of the team. It's as simple as that. Mabry in that game did well. He's a hustler. What can I say? He's not yet the standard because obviously he's young and he has a lot to learn, and he needs to develop that discipline and positional discipline and whatnot. Have a bit of patience and whatnot. But you could look at it like that Burnley game. We especially with the form the team has right now, the form of the team, we needed someone to be a bit rational in that position. So yeah, he did okay, but not United standard, or not the standard we need right now. Bruno Fernandes is one I always talk about, that he loses possession. He doesn't lose possession. He wants to play that 30-yard pass too quickly. You need to keep the ball. You need to find the right passing. He's obviously he's watered that down compared to 2 years ago or so, but he still tries to play the quick pass, the 30-yard pass. I think he's frustrated. It's more about frustration of not having the right team around him, and he's just trying to quickly whip that ball to Rashford. But he needs to be more patient on the ball. yeah, he needs to stop with the 30-yard passes, 40-yard passes. You need to keep possession. Try to give you, as a captain, you need to try to give the whole team confidence to play the football that the manager needs to play, that the manager wants you to play. And if you're just trying to kick the balls quickly and lose possession, we're not even able to play the system the manager wants us to play. That's if there's a system, because I'm not really seeing it, what this manager is trying to do. So yeah, Fernandez needs to be able to give his teammates that confidence. He needs to play his part in the game and stop trying to do his own thing. Haaland is exactly what we need. That's all I'm gonna say about Haaland. He's exactly what we need. One-touch football, get into space, show up into space to receive the ball. He's just what we need right now. He knows his job, and I think he'll do well if Ten Hag makes the right decisions, plays the right players. Because I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, because we haven't bought players, we didn't buy certain players, he doesn't have a team there to pick. There's a team there, and he just needs to make the right decisions, take away favoritism, and do the right thing. Pick the right players for the right game. Pick the right players for the occasion, and we're gonna play a lot better football. Yeah, Ten Hag needs to go a pair. He needs to go a pair. He needs to stop with the lies. He comes out and says something, but it's not what you're doing. It's not what you're saying to the players. You're saying something different in your press conferences, and that's what he got with Ronaldo. That's what we got with De Gea. You're saying something different to the players, and then behind them you're saying something else. Like, there's no trust there, and I personally don't think I don't think there's dress room unity. I think that dress room is divided to an extent, and it's gonna keep growing if he keeps on his lies. You're not making the players trust in you, because you're telling them something and you're doing something behind their backs. You did that with De Gea, you did that with Ronaldo. You're lying to the players. You're doing that with Sancho. You need to be straight up, right? If that's your system of coaching, well, it's absolutely biting you in the ass right now. You can't keep lying to players. Don't tell them what they need to hear, right? Tell them how it is, what it is. Like, if you're gonna coach like that, you can easily, if you're not winning games, you can easily be in a position where the players are not behind you anymore, and that will quickly get you out of the job. He needs to stop with his favoritism, play the right players, play the players that are on form, stop keeping players on the pitch that are obviously not doing what needs to be done in the game, and you have players on the bench that could do a better job. Like, that will quickly cause a dress room unrest, because players that think they deserve to be on the pitch and you're not putting them on there because you favor Rashford, you favor Bruno, that will quickly get out of control. Alright? And you said you came in here to build a culture. What kind of culture are you building? Culture based on lies? You're not playing the plays. You're not doing what you said. You're selling us a dream, and you're not doing what you said you're going to do. The players up there that should come off, and you leave them on the pitch. It's chaotic. Whatever he says, whatever he said when he came in, it's not what he's doing right now. So he needs to grow a pair. He needs to change his ways, or he's gonna be out of the job very quickly. Yeah. So that's all I got on the Burnley game. The breakdown, tactical breakdown. But I'm now gonna talk about Crystal Palace game. What I think we should do in that game. First of all, I think we should play a strong team, because obviously we're still trying to figure out our system when 99% of the Premier League teams already know how they're going to play. And there's a lot of players that are just coming into the team now. There's a few players. So we need to go strong in this game, so we can at least grow confidence and also figure out, because we don't even know what players are gonna play in the next game on the in games to come. Like we don't know our starting 11. That's what I'm trying to say, and we need to figure that out. And he needs to go strong here. Um, Varane came in as a sub in the Burnley game. I think he should be able to start alongside Lindelof. I think they're gonna. That's a good partnership. Um, I don't know what's going on with Wan-Bissaka, but it will be good to have him. If not, Dallo can do the job. Um, Reguilon is playing well right now, but if Shaw and Malacia can come back soon, that would be great. But yeah, I'll definitely start Varane and Lindelof, and we have obviously Dallo on the right side because Wan-Bissaka is injured apparently, and we have Reguilon on the left back. Um, that that'll be more organized and more stable and help us build up, build forward. Um, then I'll pair Casemiro with Amrabat. Let's see what his abilities is all about. He didn't get enough game time against Burnley, so I'll pair him with Amrabat and see if he could take some of that responsibilities off Casemiro, so this team can work better. If he's able to advance with the ball, able to get away from tackles, scan the area, and know what passes you're going to make before you receive the ball, and just get away from tackles. So yeah, I'll play Amrabat alongside Casemiro. Then I'll play Rashford on the left. No, sorry, cut that out. I'm not going to play Rashford in this game. He's played a lot of minutes, so I don't even think he should be in the squad going into the game. But maybe he should be on the bench. He's played a lot of minutes, pretty much, so he needs to get some rest. So does Bruno. Also, we need to figure out if we could play better with other players in the team, and which I think we can. We can play better with other players in the team. So I'll take out Rashford. I'll put Martial on the left, which is a risk because Martial could get injured, and playing left wing is not an easy job because you also need to cover for your wing back sometimes. So, or you need to be in the position to be able to cut off those passing lanes, and Martial could quickly get injured on a left wing position. So that one's up for debate, but I think Martial should be on the left. That will be my lineup, right? I'll put instead of Bruno in the midfield ahead of Casemiro and Amrabat. I'll play Van de Beek there. I don't see why he shouldn't be playing. Obviously, the manager came in and said whatnot that he can't play Van de Beek because Van de Beek's head was somewhere. I don't care about that shit. He's in the team. He needs to do a job. He's on the payroll. I'm pretty sure he can do the job. Obviously, he didn't leave to Real Sociedad or whatnot as he should have, but he's there to do a job. He's on the bench. Make use of him. God damn it. The decisions this manager makes is so pathetic. He needs to change, or the result is not going to change. The way we're playing is not going to change. You need better players on the ball, better ball carrying players on the ball if you're going to play progressive football. Rashford is not one of them. Bruno is not patient enough. You can't do the same things expecting a different result, right? That's a definition of insanity right there. And the manager is looking very insane right now. So he needs to change. Let's try Donny ahead of Amrabat and Amrabat and Casemiro. There's nothing to lose. Let's try Donny in there. On the right side, you could say give Palestri a chance, but with having Marcel on the left, I think on the right side, you should be playing Sancho, bring him back into the team. I don't care what he's done. Pretty basically, right? Sancho was put in a position where he had to do what he did. That's my own opinion. maybe he shouldn't have come out with that statement, but he obviously, the manager put him in a position where he felt like he needed to defend himself. If you look at how quickly he put out that post, it's like it's built up anger, right? Just think about someone lying to you every day, right? At some point you want to say something, and as quickly as the manager came out in the press conference and threw him under the bus, he was quick to react. So he's already thought about it, right? So he's clearly angry about something. There's been a fallout, and maybe Sancho thinks he's not getting enough game time, and rightly so. And Sancho is one of the better ball carrying players. He's on the team. He's on the payroll. He needs to come in and do a job. He's one of the better players there in that team. The way he carries the ball, he looks after the ball. Pelestri is not there yet. He doesn't carry the ball well. Pelestri only has that good cross in him. He makes better decisions than even Rashford in the going forward or in the attack, which we could use off the bench. Pelestri and Garnacho, they're able to hurt teams with their pace and their very good decision making when on the attack. But Sancho is a better ball carrying player. With Sancho, we're able to play progressive football. With Sancho, we're able to play good build up play. With Sancho, we'll be able to carry the ball better. And Pelestri and Garnacho would not offer you that. And you get Martial on the left, Sancho on the right, good ball carrying players. That's gonna be great going forward. We're gonna create a lot of chances, and that's what we need to try. That's what we need to do. And put Haaland in the middle, on the attack. That's how we need to do it, guys. On the other hand, you could say Haaland and Martial could play in a 4-4-2, but this is what I think will work. Martial on the left, Sancho on the right. Get him back into the team, and let's start winning some fucking games. Let's start playing some good football. But yeah, that's all I got.